Before Queen Camilla married King Charles in 2005, she was married to Andrew Parker Bowles, a former member of the British military. Together they had a daughter, Laura Lopes. After her mother tied the knot with Charles, Laura had to move into the palace. But getting along with the royal family wasn't always a smooth ride. While Laura is known for her quiet personality, she recently made waves by speaking out about her mother's controversial journey to the throne, something that's left the public stunned. So what did Laura say, and how does it change how we see Queen Camilla? Let's dive into Laura's jaw-dropping revelations. In a surprising move, Laura, Camilla's daughter from her first marriage, finally broke her silence. She opened up about how being the daughter of a future queen has affected her life, both personally and professionally. Being Camilla's daughter, especially since her mother was seen by many as an outsider to the royal scene, hasn't been as easy as it might seem. Raised outside the royal limelight, Laura was still heavily impacted by the media's constant focus on her mother, who was dubbed the third person in Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage. This label stuck with the family and caused a lot of emotional strain for Laura, who found herself often stuck between the public's perception of her family and the much different reality at home. Laura recalls her early years as being pretty turbulent. Even though she was kept out of the media's gaze as much as possible, the whispers and headlines about her mother's relationship with Charles still affected her daily life. What's more, she says that even people who didn't know her made assumptions about her, all based on her mother's public image. Laura admitted that this constant, unwanted attention had a lasting effect on how she views relationships and trust, forcing her to grow up a lot quicker than she should have. As a young girl, she could sense the tension between her mother's private devotion to family and the rumors that constantly surrounded her. Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles divorced in 1995, following years of speculation about Camilla's affair with Prince Charles. Despite this, Laura kept a strong connection with her mother, admiring Camilla's grace and poise in the face of relentless criticism. However, this admiration came with its own challenges. Laura sometimes felt uncomfortable, as her mother's actions meant their family often found itself in the public eye for all the wrong reasons. As Laura got older, the impact of royal life on her own personal journey became even more significant. Her mother's marriage to Prince Charles in 2005 threw her into a royal drama she hadn't asked for. Unlike her stepbrothers, Princes William and Harry, who were born into the royal fold, Laura was suddenly thrust into this world as an adult, with little time to adjust to the intense expectations and public scrutiny that came with it. Royal insiders suggest that Laura never truly felt at ease with her new royal role, often feeling out of place at public events, particularly those involving her mother and Charles. While William and Harry had been raised in the royal spotlight, Laura had to figure out how to balance her private life with the public nature of royal duties. This tension only grew as Camilla took on more prominent responsibilities within the monarchy. When Camilla became queen, Laura was left stunned by the dramatic shift in how the public viewed her mother. From being heavily criticized by the British press, Camilla had become a vital and respected figure within the royal family. But this shift came at a cost. Laura felt that much of the effort to rebuild Camilla's public image came at the expense of their family's privacy. She did, however, express admiration for her mother's resilience throughout this transformation, from being the Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Camilla, particularly in her unwavering dedication to royal duty. When Laura spoke out about her experiences, it divided public opinion. Some saw it as a bold revelation that gave insight into the realities behind the royal family, while others criticized her for airing private family matters. But of all the revelations Laura made, it was her complex journey into royal life that intrigued many the most. Unlike her stepbrothers, who were born into royalty, Laura's experience as an outsider stepping into the royal spotlight provided a unique perspective on what it truly means to be part of this world. Laura's journey into the royal spotlight wasn't exactly a smooth ride. So how did she end up joining the royals? And how did she handle her relationship with her stepbrothers, William and Harry? This part of the story is truly fascinating, and trust us, the revelations ahead will surprise you. Like her brother Tom Parker Bowles, Laura Lopes was born into a life that had very little to do with royal protocols. As the children of Camilla and her first husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, Laura and Tom grew up in the comfort of a British upper-class family. but they were mostly out of the public eye, and the royal family didn't play much of a role in their lives. The public first got wind of the drama surrounding Camilla when Princess Diana famously mentioned a third woman in her 1995 BBC interview, hinting at the affair between Camilla and Charles. However, only a few royal insiders actually knew who this woman was or about her children, including Laura. Angela Levin, author of Camilla, From Outcast to Queen Consort, reveals that Charles was a regular visitor at Camilla's house even when he was still married to Diana. Levin also shared that the children got along well with Charles when he visited, calling him Sir and describing him as kind and lovely. Tom, Laura's brother, has often said that he really liked his stepfather, considering him warm, smart, and caring. But, as with many families caught in royal drama, things weren't always clear-cut. The children often found themselves swept up in their parents' troubles, even if they didn't fully understand what was going on. In Penny Junor's book, The Duchess, The Untold Story, it's mentioned that Diana had known about Charles and Camilla's affair since 1980, and even didn't want Tom to be a page at their wedding in 1981. Charles agreed, and instead, Tom went with his mother. At the ceremony, he sometimes even stood up in his seat to get a better view. In 2005, Tom married writer and editor Sarah Buxted in a high-profile wedding. The same year, Camilla finally married Prince Charles. Their wedding was a huge public event, with Camilla's children present. Royal historians believe that Laura wasn't entirely comfortable with the wedding or the intense attention it attracted, adding another layer of complexity to her journey into the royal fold. A friend of Laura's told the Daily Mail that Laura had actually planned to be abroad when her mother's engagement to Prince Charles was announced. However, things moved faster than expected, and she ended up staying in the UK. The friend also revealed that Laura became upset by all the attention, as she really didn't enjoy being in the spotlight. Despite her discomfort, though, Laura supported her mother throughout the process. There were even reports that she stayed with Camilla at Clarence's house the night before the wedding, while her brother Tom acted as a witness alongside Prince William. Since 2005, when her mother married Charles, Laura has kept a fairly low profile. Despite being linked to one of the most famous royal families in the world, Laura has chosen to lead a quiet, private life. She focuses on her family, raising her children with her husband, Harry Lopes, and managing her career away from the royal spotlight. Although she occasionally attends important royal events like weddings or family gatherings, Laura stays out of the public eye and avoids official royal roles. This choice reflects her desire to live a grounded life, even as she supports her mother and stepfather from the sidelines. Laura's approach has helped her maintain her independence while still remaining a supportive member of the family. As for her children, Eliza, Gus, and Louis, they were very much a part of royal ceremonies, with Eliza even serving as a bridesmaid at Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding. But for many, their presence seemed like Camilla's way of connecting her past with her present. Laura's children are growing up in a world where their royal connections are both a privilege and a burden. According to royal insiders, there was a lot of tension behind the scenes, and Laura wasn't pleased with the renewed media focus on her family. While she always fulfilled her royal duties gracefully, it was clear that she wasn't completely comfortable with the attention. At royal events, Laura often kept her distance from key members of the family. For example, she maintained minimal contact with her stepbrothers, Harry and William. Although they all attended family weddings and funerals, their interactions were limited. Media reports have revealed that Harry and William were deeply unhappy with their father's marriage to Camilla and tried to persuade him not to marry her in 2005. Unfortunately, Charles didn't listen to their advice. Harry and William have also spoken openly about the pain caused by their father's affair with Camilla, which created a natural barrier between Laura and her stepbrothers. Despite this, Laura has consistently avoided engaging in any public family feuds or picking sides. However, it's clear she's growing more uncomfortable with Prince Harry, especially after his memoir, Spare, where he openly criticized her mother. This has put Laura in a tricky position, particularly as her children grow older and become aware of the media coverage. But that's not the end of the story when it comes to Laura's struggles with Harry. We've previously discussed how Queen Camilla's public image has undergone a major transformation over the years, with the palace working hard to present her as a devoted royal partner and compassionate figure. However, not everyone has embraced this rebranding. and Laura has found herself caught in the middle. In Spare, Harry refers to Camilla as a dangerous figure who prioritized her public image over the well-being of others. Although Laura hasn't directly commented on Harry's accusations, reports suggest she's not happy with them. The fallout from Spare has caused more rifts, deepening existing tensions and making it even harder to bring the step-siblings together. According to Katie Nicholl in her book, William and Harry, Behind the Palace Walls, there have been numerous heated arguments between Prince William and Laura Lopes since King Charles and Queen Camilla married. William, protective of his late mother, Princess Diana, blamed Camilla for causing his mother's pain. This angered Laura, as she felt it was unfair to place all the blame on her mother. Laura didn't hold back either when it came to defending her mother. Whenever William criticized Camilla, Laura would argue fiercely, pointing out that Charles had caused problems for her family too. This shows how both children dealt with the complicated emotions surrounding their parents' pasts, but from very different perspectives. Laura, however, is known for rarely bringing her private matters into the public eye. So, when she spoke out, it was a surprise to many. But what does Laura actually do behind the scenes? Let's dive into her life beyond the royal spotlight. Laura, born on January 1, 1978, to Camilla and her first husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, had a pretty grounded upbringing. She attended Haywood Preparatory School in Coram with her brother Tom Parker Bowles, and later went on to study history of art and marketing at Oxford Brookes University. In 2001, she interned at the prestigious Peggy Guggenheim Collection in Venice, gaining valuable experience in the world of art. That same year, she also worked as a motoring correspondent for Tatler, a British magazine. Interestingly, her brother Tom also worked for Tatler, but as a food columnist. In May 2006, Laura married Harry Lopes, a chartered accountant and grandson of Lord Astor of Have, in a beautiful ceremony at St. Swithin's Church in Wiltshire, England. For her wedding day, Laura wore a gown designed by Anna Valentine, who also created Camilla's wedding dress for her marriage to Prince Charles in 2005. Despite her generally private life, Laura has made appearances at several major royal events. She attended the Order of the Garter service at Windsor Castle, a prestigious ceremony honoring members of the British royal family. She was also present at Prince William's wedding and, in 2018, at the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. More recently, she attended the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022 and the coronation of her mother Camilla as queen. During the coronation, Laura's twin boys, Gus and Louis, joined their grandmother on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, a heartwarming moment for the family. Gus and Louis, Laura's twin boys, had memorable roles as pages of honor at their grandmother's coronation, a traditional position that allows young royal family members to take part in major events. However, just days before the big day, Gus had an unfortunate accident when he broke his arm in a bike crash. Despite the injury, he bravely appeared at the coronation, showing up for the big event with a smile on his face. Although Laura tries to keep a low profile, being Queen Camilla's daughter means she can never fully escape the royal spotlight and all the drama that comes with it. This has made it hard for her to carve out her own identity and live her life as she wishes. Professionally, though, Laura has built a successful career as an art gallerist. She's worked in prominent places like the Space Gallery in London, and even opened her own gallery to support young artists. Her career in the art world has allowed her to live a relatively normal life, which contrasts with the much more public lives of her famous stepbrothers. According to her friends, Laura is very independent and doesn't care much for the lavish aspects of royal life. Even after her mother became the Duchess of Cornwall and later the Queen, Laura continued to prioritize her privacy in both her personal and professional life. But maintaining that privacy has been tough, especially with her connections to the royal family. Sources close to Laura have shared that she's frustrated by the constant media attention. Every major event in her life, from her marriage to Harry Lopes, a former model and now businessman, to the births of their children, has been closely followed by the British tabloids. To make matters worse, Laura feels that her own achievements are often overshadowed by her mother's past and the controversies surrounding the royal family. She wishes for a quieter, more private life away from the constant press coverage. Her connection to the royal family has also impacted her friendships, adding another layer of difficulty to her already complicated life. Laura has admitted that she often feels pressure to prove herself professionally and as an individual, wanting to be recognized for her own accomplishments and not just her mother's past. But there's another surprising detail you won't want to miss. Queen Camilla's royal duties nearly strained her relationship with Laura. While Laura understands the sacrifices her mother made, Camilla's full commitment to royal duties created a distance between them and took away the simpler times they once shared. Despite this, their bond remains strong, built on a foundation of love and mutual understanding. Laura has made it a point to shield her children, Eliza, Gus, and Louis, from the public eye. In 2011, Eliza had the special honor of being a bridesmaid at Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding, a historic occasion watched by millions. During the ceremony, she was seen being carried by her step-grandfather, then Prince Charles, to the Buckingham Palace balcony, where they waved to the crowds. While Eliza gained some brief public attention, Laura has mostly kept her children out of the spotlight, aiming to give them a normal upbringing away from the pressures of royal life. Royal watchers have noticed that Laura is particularly concerned about how her children's connection to Queen Camilla and King Charles III might shape their futures. She wants them to grow up strong and independent, pursuing their own passions without the weight of royal expectations. With her recent public revelations, many are curious about what Laura will do next. There have been rumors circulating in British circles that King Charles plans to grant royal titles to Laura and her brother Tom, but Tom has already addressed these claims. During the coronation of King Charles, both Tom and Laura made it clear that they wouldn't be accepting any royal titles or financial perks. In Laura's words, "You won't see us with big estates or being called the Duke or Duchess of whatever. That would be awful." It's also important to note that, historically, no stepchildren of a British sovereign have taken on official royal duties or been given titles, especially since Camilla is only the third British-born queen consort since the 1500s. Laura is not in line for the throne, but she's become more involved in royal events thanks to Queen Camilla. Their bond is so close that some have even accused Laura of mirroring her mother's style. Laura has also become a voice of reason for Camilla, and according to author Penny Junor, she's the only person Camilla is afraid of, aside from being her trusted right-hand woman. On the business side, things have been a bit rocky for Laura. Recently, she had to shut down her fashion boutique, Mojo and McCoy, after struggling with the challenges in the retail industry. Laura and her husband Harry had opened the boutique 8 years ago in Hungerford, Berkshire, with friends, including her sister-in-law, Mima Lopes Chanel McCoy. While they had hopes of success in the affluent area, the store was eventually forced to close. A spokesperson confirmed this, mentioning that Laura had hoped to relocate the boutique, but those plans didn't work out. The boutique carried high-end brands, including jewelry by Catherine Zara, popular with Princess Kate, as well as clothing by Samantha Cameron and a children's line by Alice Goldsmith. Despite the setback, reports suggest that Laura is planning to seek advice from King Charles before launching any new business ventures. She reportedly admires how he handles difficult situations and may turn to him for guidance before making any future moves. While Laura's efforts to carve out her own legacy, separate from the royal family, are understandable, it's clear that her role as Camilla's close confidant in royal duties makes it difficult for her to fully distance herself from the royal spotlight. Whatever path she chooses, her connection to the family will continue to shape her life in ways both public and private.